Today's gonna be a great day. I'm here with my boy Paul. What's the
Downtown.
move? What's the move? You know, Paul, I was just thinking about how yesterday, it was a couple of days ago, we were talking about how the current generation that's being brought up, like current, how they lack direction, but glorify instant gratification. Glorify instant gratification, but lack self-discipline. Why do you think that's so? Because I was thinking, what can people do?
Like feeling good for that thing. Obviously, like for my people, a lot of the people in my age range have this social media stuff, and it's good in certain ways, but in a lot of ways it makes people very lost because you see a ton of different things like in minutes, right? Especially if you're scrolling. And the instant gratification comes from that. Like they've done memory things, studies. People have done studies, and the average kid my age only has about memory, like peak focus for about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, that's long. I think that's a long time. But I think that's pretty long because for me, like reading, I can read for about 20, 25 minutes without wanting to stop or look at my phone.
As in like lectures.
Oh, and lecture-wise. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
If as in watching a movie, somebody talking, I don't know many kids who even read my age. That's something that is definitely falling off. It's like everybody was doing all these audio.
Oh,
so you know what I'm talking about?
yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, all these people were doing all these audiobook things, and it got really big, and then people stopped reading. And then after they got bored of the audiobooks because it's somebody talking to you, then they stopped doing that too. Because it's so now. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people need things now because they've had a ton of instant gratification. It's hey, I want candy. Okay, well, I'll, just drive over and I'll get candy like right now.
DoorDash shit.
Yeah, like I could DoorDash.
I'm gonna DoorDash.
I don't even have to leave my house.
I don't gotta leave my house anymore.
I want a big old burger.
I think that's what it is. Everything's too convenient.
Yes.
Everything's too convenient.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, I just want to ask people, like, what do you want? Like, what do you even want? Because they're so caught up with comparing themselves to everybody else's life.
Yes.
And so I think a good question would be like, what do you want? Like, what is it you want? Like, if you want the money, how are you going to get it? If you want the car, how are you going to get it? Or what you need to know or what you need to do to create to get a nice car or a nice house.
What are the steps?
Or the right relationship. Like, what do you, like, who you need to become to get in the right relationship that you want. And so I feel like people, or anybody in general, is you're so focused on what everybody else is doing. For me, I think I have like the perfect mindset when it comes to that. I'll see it, I'll like it. Oh, that's nice. Now, different me will be like, oh, I see it, I like it, I want it. Because for me, I ask myself, like, why do I want this? And it's like, do I want this for the sake I saw somebody else have it, or do I really genuinely like this?
Yeah.
Like, say for instance, a nice car. Like, I'll say to myself, I want a nice car for the simple fact that I don't see nobody else have it, and it's different. Like, I'll be like, I want a Porsche GT3 and hot pink.
Yeah, because everybody wants a Porsche GT3, but the original thing that I want is hot pink.
And so I always think about like those things because nobody really thinks about that. We always, already we're like programmed to be like negative. Like society's just programmed to be negative, expect the worst and just feel down on yourself because it's everybody else does. Like we're all mirrors. And so I feel like a lot of times that sometimes people just need like a quick snap out of it. Like relax. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like you can get what you want, but just like be okay with saying what you actually want and why you want it. I feel like the universe is not on a budget. You'll get what you want. You just gotta be patient enough to be like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I do to get there, and this is how I'm gonna get it.
Creating realistic steps on a trajectory to success is what people need. Because now, in terms of money, some of the most searched up things on Google Analytics is how to make $1,000 a day passive. How to blah, blah, blah.
Quickies.
Yeah. How can I make $500 in a week? Those Google searches and YouTube searches are the most popular in terms of money. Nobody is ever thinking, hey, saved on the car payments that I would have used and put that into like some sort of fund index, all these stuff. and then just kept doing that, in 50 years, I'll have like 5 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks about things like that. And that's another point where social media comes in, because you see all these very, very wealthy younger people. As a kid, it's really hard to say, hey, let me take things slow and really get all my steps down and get my steps organized, get my path cleared, got to whack the weeds, everything, right?
Like the weeds.
And it's,
That's so true.
And it's hard to see all these 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 30-year-old dudes who live in LA, have all their nice houses, have all the nice women, have all the pretty women, right? It's really hard to see that and then be like, no, like reject it, because you're seeing it so often as well with all these social media people. And you're like, they have it now.
That's true.
Like, your path is not somebody else's path. Like, you may, if all you want is to get money and to get rich, probably will happen.
It will happen.
Because it's all you want.
Yeah, it's all you want.
Yeah.
But you won't have like the relationship of
Yes,
the dream.
you won't have anything else.
Because it's all you really focus your mind on.
Exactly.
You forgot about the journey between of it.
And you don't build yourself as a person as you're taking these steps. That's why there's a big saying that people are like, oh, he got the money too fast.
He got the money too fast.
Like, there's a lot of people.
But
that say
also,
that.
you have to see this way, Paul. I feel like you can't really get the money too fast because, for one, you asked for it. And more than likely, we don't know what you did to get it.
True.
You could have been going through a lot, from teen to 25.
True.
Like you had 20 different life experiences that really shook your world. And then at 25, you made it.
Yeah. Did all the things.
I think like also like with society too, like with the instant gratification, we don't really take into account what people had to go through in order to get it. Then, it happened overnight for them where their success came in because they went through so much to get to where they are. And I feel like also it's like, a lot of times we're always dealt our cards, or we have been dealt out karma for what we put out to the universe.
It's true.
Yeah. Because I feel like for me, like I put out a lot of good karma.
Yeah.
A lot. Like I'm always speaking a blessing over somebody. I'm always like, oh, God bless them. God bless them. I pray they find their way. Like I'm always wishing well. And so like I feel like that's what made life feel so easy for me. Because I'm always thinking like a positive way, but also being myself.
I get that. It's definitely a huge thing. Like, I always try to do a couple of nice things, like intentionally. And it shouldn't be something that you're like, oh, I have to get these nice things done to get my karma up. It should be something that comes naturally.
From your heart. Yeah, from your heart. Because you're not expecting nothing in return.
Because it's fake otherwise.
Yeah.
Then that's actually bad karma or like bad vibes. It's bad things, because you're like, you're doing it for... Yeah. It's
kind of like doing something. Doing something. So, because you're expecting a reward.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
There was an old proverb that I heard about, and this one guy, he goes to the king, and he has a horse and like nice stuff, and he's like, hey, it's your birthday. I really wanted to give you these things, and I really appreciate everything you do. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Right? And the king's like, oh, thank you so much. And then he went out and he gifted that guy like 50 hectares of land. Right? He went and he gave him a whole farm. So one of the servants in that chamber heard that and saw that, and they went back home. They grabbed all their nice things, and they went to the king. And they said, hey, king, I have all these nice things for you. I have all these good things for you. And the king says, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your gift. Now goodbye. And the servant stands there, and he's like, and the king is like, are you expecting something? Because you gave that to me for something in return, so you're not going to get what you wanted in return because it didn't come from your heart.
That's crazy. That's so true. Because it's almost like also you're expecting a reward, but that person was dealt their karma for maybe how they treated that person. And we don't even know about that, And that's why they got the blessing or the inheritance in front of them. That's crazy. Well, I mean, maybe one day they'll get it back.
Yeah. And that's another issue with society. Like, especially, like I see it a lot in Western culture. I travel sometimes out of the country, but especially in Western culture, a lot of things are very transactional. Like, a lot of things have motives behind them because a lot of people in our society and in our culture are kind or make connections or do this to get something out of somebody.
That's true.
And it's something I saw even in high school, as a kid. I saw a lot of stuff. Like people would do this, do this, do this. And then like I would help them out, I would lend them something, and then they would like talk to me again. And it's like,
But do you think like that was intentional, or was it just like a test from the universe to see if you were expecting something in return?
yeah, it's true. It goes both ways. Like if somebody came up to me and they're doing like these nice things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this, and then maybe later tell them I can ask tomorrow something, right?
That's true.
And it's like it's subconscious almost. Like it's human to not want to give anything away, to not want to do this, because we're taught from like such like a young age too, is hey, everything's independent. Everything's independent, right? Everything's on you. Everything's a you thing. Everything's independent. And because that's been drilled into us, seriously?
Yeah, you go on.
Yeah. And everything was drilled into us as a kid. Now we're seeing on the other side, as people grow up, you're seeing the effects of that sort of training, you could say, because a lot of people lack kindness.
They do.
Like my mom, I remember this one thing from like whenever I was a kid. Mom was driving around, and there was this guy, and his like car was stuck, and he was messed up, and it was on a smaller road. And my mom is a very nice woman. She's terrific, and she stopped and she was like, "Hey, like, do you need to go somewhere?" And with her two littler kids, I was much younger, in the car, she took a stranger in. And the stranger was like, thank you so much. Like it was 100 degrees outside. Nobody ever stopped. Nobody gave me anything. And I've been stuck here and I can't do anything. And it's like if people come to your house or something, right? Like delivery drivers and other things would show up to house or apartment. She never expected anything in return. And if you look at her versus another person, like her, like she has really nice hair, she's really nice skin. She looks really good for like her age versus somebody else, and it pays
her age and looks older.
It pays a part because even though it's very like spiritual and theoretic, it makes sense.
That's true.
Because in your head, if you're happier and you laugh more and you enjoy more, you're younger.
You have a younger soul.
You're younger versus,
oh,
everybody's out to get me, blah, blah, blah. People don't like me. You age so quickly because you have nothing to keep you back.
Yeah.
Like you become sort of this gray sort of person, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because you can always take it back, but you're just kind of like, you don't say hi to people, don't smile much. You're on your own. And it's something that is so sad.
It's true. I feel like a lot of times it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like a lot of people really just take themselves out.
Yep.
Like, really, they take themselves out. Like, they really don't get it. They don't freaking get it. And it's kind of like the universe, God, source will keep giving them tests. You'll keep getting the same test until you learn the lesson.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And they take themselves out because they're too stubborn to like understand like what you do will come back to you. What you sow is what you will reap.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, just be okay with doing the right thing, just taking care of yourself.
And like wrong thing is done to you at the same time.
Yeah, because like 100 years ago, we were at war with each other, Yeah. And I feel like now the epidemic is we're at war with ourselves. We're fighting our souls. Like we're not okay with who we are as an individual.
That's so true.
And it's kind of like, what?
Yeah.
And it's the stupidest thing. It's because we're comparing.
Back to the instant gratification.
Yeah, and we want what everybody else had, but we don't know what they did to get there and stuff. So we're jealous, have animosity. Like for me, like I don't care about anything. I just want to push kindness out. I don't give much my attention to a lot of stuff. But one thing that is fascinating to me is, and I just learn to let it go, is when I'm working out at the gym, the vibes are different.
Yeah.
The vibes are different. And, I am a personal trainer. I live to inspire people. So Like for me, I'm okay with helping someone, get to where they want to be and stuff.
Of course.
But you also want to have to be okay with training your uncontrollable mind. It's almost like the reason I have a nice physique is because I know how to control my uncontrollable mind.
It's a lot of, it's exactly an instant gratification.
But I told myself that. I told myself,
Mhm.
I was like, I want to control my mind. I want to control whatever I do.
Yeah. Be cool with you. Like,
Yeah.
I have a huge sweet tooth, something that I struggle with a lot. And it's like, man, like I want sugar, I want it now, like
Mm-hmm.
candy, chocolate, whatever. And a lot of people, because the instant gratification thing is so embedded in society, whenever they go and they buy groceries,
Mm-hmm.
they don't get lettuce and
No.
spinach and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, I know I'm going to want this later, so I'm just going to buy it. And then they got a closet full of Little Debbie's and peanut butter crackers.
And you know me, I'm not judgmental,
No.
but I'm a person that I'll get in a grocery store
And
and
those,
I'll be looking at people's basket like, not judging you. Honestly, God, I don't be saying nothing.
yeah,
I just look. I'm just like, and so my face will tell it up. But I feel like a lot of times, like I'm meant to be in their path.
Yes.
So they are aware.
Sometimes.
They are aware.
Yeah.
Aware of like, but I don't do it in a mean way. I'll just,
Yeah.
because people need
a
to know.
little bit. We'll have somebody have a lot. Like they can reflect on that.
They can reflect on that. They reflect on
if
that.
they want.
If they want to. It's not like at the gym too.
Yeah.
Like,
You see a really fat guy.
yeah, you see a really jacked guy. You're going very fast.
Moving the weight.
You're going very fast, and the really jacked guy's going very slow.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? So people don't realize that. It's so crazy.
And a lot of people just get jealous and then they blame themselves. And like what you should do is hey, there's a jack guy.
Mhm.
Okay, he's doing something. Maybe I could go ask it
Ask.
and be like,
Yeah.
hey man, like, how do you work out?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do this? Like, what is this? And now you form a connection with somebody.
Mhm.
And if they're happy to help, then they're happy to help. And now look, you have somebody to mentor you a little bit.
That's so true.
But people don't do that because they're scared
Mhm.
of going up to people for whatever reason because they feel so bad about
Yeah,
themselves.
so valuable. Yeah.
And the second thing is they're like, and it's like those two things.
Well, God bless.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, like good luck. Like really good luck.
It's
Like,
so true.
and I want them to succeed,
Yep.
but it's like you're dooming yourself from the start because you're independent, you're scared, and you're not one with yourself yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, I want you to become everything you want to become,
Mhm.
but you can't go out and expect to have people help you when you can't even help yourself.
Right. Just have good intentions.
Yeah, true.
Just have good intentions. Like, I always see it like, whenever I do that, like, not per se judging phase, but, just casually look at somebody's basket
Yeah.
or casually, just look at someone at the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging. I'm just looking.
No, it's
But
not,
I just
it's not
need
like,
God bless, God bless. Because like sometimes we don't realize we really just need to speak like a blessing over somebody. Because like nobody can really grow from, negativity
no.
or how do you say this?
Ooh, okay.
Secret animosity.
Animosity. I like
Because like when you think about it, you're still gonna be the same person
Yeah.
if I'm just sitting there judging you. So I'm the type of person that I'll be like, oh, God bless.
Mhm.
Or I wish them well, wish them well.
Yeah.
Because like they all know what they're doing, but I feel like for me, our words are powerful.
sometimes they even don't.
They really don't.
And in that way, the
They
God
will.
bless will still.
It still will help because like it's kind of like your tongue is a wand, and so you kind of like not cast a spell on them, but you speak a blessing to them, like
Yeah.
you want them to feel better. And I feel like that would be like the perfect way for people like to heal more.
Yeah.
Instead of turning a blind eye and judging somebody, just like being okay with God bless,
Yeah.
because that's like I feel like it's all this hate just bouncing off of everybody.
It's dominoes, dude. It's
And
dominoes.
bouncing. It's bouncing.
Dominoes.
It's just bouncing, and it's not like, and all these projections
Yeah.
aren't going anywhere. And so like I feel like some people are put in that area to be a light
Mm-hmm.
in the grocery store.
Yeah.
I'll tell myself that because I want people to feel better, or I want people to feel good when they're around me.
Mhm.
Because I don't know their negativity bouncing off
No.
me. I know that.
And it's so common for it's dominoes. It's, hey, I've woken up this morning, and it's a whole thing about negative. Like, I wake up, first thing I do is I get on my phone. I don't drink water. I don't go out in the sun.
Yeah.
I don't do any exercise.
I don't say
Get on my phone.
I'll be saying this will be a good day.
Yeah, like I don't say nice things about myself. I get on my phone. The first thing I see are these super jack dudes with these hot ass girls, and it's like,
with a lot of money and stuff.
yeah, and then you just feel down about yourself first thing.
Yeah.
Then you go and you put your clothes on, you have a bowl of cereal, you go to work,
And then
and then you're like this at work, and you come home, and you get back on your phone and this stuff, versus like taking control of yourself and being, hey, today can be a great day if I make it a great day. Because if you do the first thing and you go meet somebody, you go talk to somebody, you do this, rubs off on them.
it does.
And then they get it in their mind, and then they go wild, and they blah, blah, and they start complaining and all this stuff. Then it rubs off on other people,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
And if the action is just too hard for you, just say it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have a good day. I want to just enjoy my life.
Instead of, I will have a good day. Like, if you can't like
I
that,
want to. Like, this is what I want. I want to have more
speak
peace.
it out loud.
Yeah, like you could just say it. Like, I know sometimes people don't realize like the action could be hard. The action of change could be hard because in the natural, you don't see it and you then sure don't feel it either. And so it's kind of like, if you just say it, then you would slowly begin to move towards it.
Yeah.
But you have to really train your uncontrollable mind and be like, I want to have a good day every day, and say it every day so you can start moving towards that area versus say it one time and it's not happening. Then
you give up.
Yeah,
because it's not instant gratification.
Gratification.
It wraps around.
That's why you gotta be mindful of your
trained for
words. You gotta be mindful of your words too, because it's like, if you're always negative, it's going to be hard for you to change all that negative thinking into positive. You have to gradually you got to make baby steps.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah,
it's everything a
steps.
process, like back in the beginning. How do you succeed? You have a process. It's the same thing with even the small things.
Even a small thing.
It just doesn't work. Like, if your brain's been trained something, it's going to believe that.
Yeah, it's
like,
in
what
your
is it?
tomorrow.
A habit takes 3 times as long to break as it does to make it. Something like that.
I don't know, but I know like a habit takes like 21 days to create.
Yeah, and it
Like
takes
every
longer
day.
to break it. Yeah.
Oh, it's longer to break it.
And it takes
Yeah,
longer to
yeah.
break it. Why is that? Because you're retraining.
That's
to retrain, like, if you have a dog, you can train a dog how to sit fairly easily. But if you want to turn that like sit command and action into him rolling over, it takes a lot longer.
They do.
Why? Because they have to reprogram instead of create.
That's so true. Because you never think about like stuff like that. I wish people talk about that kind of stuff more often. Because when you think about it, no one really thinks. Well, I don't say no one really thinks.
It's uncommon.
It's uncommon to think about like your daily habits and what you do on a daily basis. Like, I know for me, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I know I'm getting up. I'm like, oh yes, today's going to be a great day. I'm so happy to be alive. Something good is going to happen for me today. I know it. I feel it. Today could be my day. And I'll just say to myself unconsciously, like, I don't know how the day's going to go, but at least I'll say it, And usually, typically, 99.9%, I have a good day.
Yeah.
And if I don't have a good day, it doesn't mean I have a bad life. Like, I know how to let go. I mean, I know how to let go. And so
one day is not 360.
Yeah. And also, I think about my actions at the end of the day, too. Did I be on my phone a lot? Did I eat something healthy?
Yeah.
Did I work out? Did I stretch? Did I go to the gym? Did I do things that I knew my mind I needed to do in order for me to feel good?
Or did I just ignore it? Or like, let's say somebody said something mean to you, right? It's a minute.
It's a minute.
Don't let it ruin your whole day.
Yeah, don't let it,
you have...
Because why not let it ruin your day? Like, ask yourself, why would you let that ruin your day? You're never going to see that person ever again.
It's a conscious thing. It's like whenever we were talking earlier, it's like I could go out on the street right now and yell like a crazy man. And in one day, no single person will ever be like, that weird ass kid, crazy hair was out there on the road screaming and yelling. They're going to go to bed, wake up, go to their job, and forget.
That's so true.
And it's like, if somebody else is going to forget, then why can't you?
Yeah, that's so true. Like, for me, I was thinking about when I told you earlier how I was walking to go to the convenience store.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And when I thought about the guy that was walking past me with no shoes on, I wanted to go home and change, but I didn't. I ended up just walking by my house and was just like, well, God bless him. I pray he finds his way. And I still end up walking to the convenience store to see somebody else sitting outside to ask me to buy them a Snickers. And I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
And then when I did it, I brought him a water too.
Yeah.
And when I bought him a water, it wasn't just, I asked him if he needed water, but also I wasn't expecting nothing in return.
Yeah.
I didn't check my lotto ticket until like after I came back. I thought I gave it
Because
to
you
him
got a ticket
because I wasn't
gas
expecting to
station
win.
wherever you bought it.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to win that because I was like, I'm doing it for the kindness of my heart. Like it is what it is. It's hot outside. He probably need a little sugar high. Boom. And I did it. And I felt like so good about it,
Yeah.
you know? And I felt even better, you know, when I walked away because I was happy to see this guy again.
And you could have made it
I could have made
like the smallest interaction. How long did that take you to do? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Dang it, that. It was like maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah. And your 3 minutes just made his entire day.
It did.
A water and a Snickers.
Shit, it made my day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
'Cause it's like, you know,
helping
like-
other people is more fulfilling
It's
than
so much
being
more
selfish.
fulfilling. Yeah.
And people don't understand that because the selfish feeling whenever you do something for yourself that isn't healthy,
Yeah.
like that isn't something that's mentally healthy or stimulating, it's something so
It's so
it's
fast.
such a sweet taste with a sour ending.
It is true. Because, like, I don't really be expecting anything from anybody.
Yeah.
You know? It just feels good to my soul to be like,
I get what you're saying, but,
But
it's
obviously,
like, it's like, hey, like I helped you out, you
Yeah.
know? And you're like, man, like,
yeah, because I'm
it's
not a
kinda
hater.
nice.
Like, it feels good. It
Uh-huh.
feels like, wow. Because people don't do that often. It's
No.
not common. Like, I always think of things that are uncommon.
Yeah.
And I feel like that always like resonates with me. Like things that are uncommon. That's what I like. I don't like stuff that's predictable. I don't hate predictability, but I don't per se like being predictable. Like I don't like when people can think they can predict what I'm gonna do next.
That's true.
Yeah, like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you know, because I always feel like every time I need to switch it up.
Yeah.
Go to a different grocery store. You
And
know,
that also keeps your life like entertaining. And it also makes you happier because
Yeah.
choice creates like a lot of anxiety for people unless you're the one who's choosing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like really affect anybody.
so you can,
Because then like if you have the exact same thing that you do over and over, life starts to feel so like meaningless.
Meaningless.
Empty.
Yeah,
almost.
empty.
Empty. And it's like
especially if you're single.
yeah, and it's like why is that? Why? Because you wake up and you do the exact same thing. Monday through Friday. And then
Same.
let's say Saturday, just to like let loose or something, you go to a bar and you drink a ton. And then Sunday, you know, you just relax in your bed and don't do anything because it's Sunday. And then you're back at it again. And your week continues. And now it's 6 weeks in and you haven't done anything and you're back on yourself.
Yeah.
And then that's when that bad stimming stuff happens. It's like you should be, dude, and it's so simple. It's wake up and brush your teeth with your left hand.
Ooh, I do that.
Yeah,
I
and
do
it's
that.
like just shake it up just a little.
I do that. But I told my mom,
little bit.
it's so crazy. I told my mom the other day too.
Really?
She was like something about carpus ternal.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I was like, just start brushing your teeth with your opposite dominant
Yeah,
hand and drive with your, so like I'm left-handed.
yeah,
So I'll drive with my right.
it's small
I'll drive
stuff,
right.
and it's like, hey, instead of like waking up and getting on your phone, maybe take 5 minutes.
Just scratch in bed.
Yeah,
Scratch in bed. Like,
or even like make your bed. Yeah, like hit a little, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like hit a little back crack, right? Or wake up and hop out of bed, you know, and then make it.
yeah. Like,
If you never make your bed, try
That's
it.
true.
You know, like try things that are simple, easy, and quick, and see if it makes a change. What's the downside of trying that, right? Like, okay, you didn't feel better, and it took 2 minutes.
yeah. It made
Less.
life more meaningful too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you become the light next.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because look, one little thing rubbed off on you, and instead of stepping out of your house, taking the step out of your house, and you're like, you take the step out, and you're like, hey, man, I'm different. I'm better. And then you go to work, and the same people that you see, instead of complaining, you're like, hey, you know, I tried this, I tried that, and I feel better. And then what? It rubs off on them. So now it's a domino of positivity.
It is. And it becomes light.
And,
You said it.
and how long did it take you to do that? 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
It was already in your routine. You just switched hands.
Yeah.
You're driving. You just switched hands. You got out of bed and you made it. You just, bro, just put your pillow down. Throw the sheets over it. It takes 30 seconds less.
You.
Right? And it's like,
Go this one. Give them a different way to work.
yeah, take a back road.
Take a back.
Take a back road.
I struggle with
Mm-hmm.
is eating different foods.
Well, I get that.
Because try different foods like
Uh-huh.
that because I
You
don't know.
understand what happens whenever you eat this, eat that, do this.
Exactly.
That's understandable.